Welcome to the 15th Festival of Rugby here at the Standard Bank Kearsley Festival, and we've got two matches left in what has been a very successful festival this year. Monument Westville is up next, and then Kearsley will bring the curtain down on their own festival against Yechir Janssen, and they are going to have to play above themselves because Yechir Janssen look a fantastic side. But this game against Monument for Westville is going to be a real tough one, and one of the men heavily involved with the Westville boys is alongside me, ECR voice that you will know and recognise, Sky Shabalala. Welcome.
Mr. Keb, good having me here, and thank you so much for that intro. Yes, involved with the Westville school and the 14 level. I actually went to the Westville side now when they're warming up just to see how the boys are doing. Spoke to Unati there, who was knocking it over from 50 on the other field, which is next door to Stott. So it's pretty simple that his boots are on. Of course, he moves from the wing and he's starting at 10 today, so that's Unati Mlojo. But they have lost a danger man, Ziketelo Siaya, the 15, who scored that try against Rondebosch. That's been on social media because how casually he took the ball, where he just dots it down with one hand after a kick through. So, yeah, the Westville boys are up for it. But, boy, they're playing the Witbilla, who had to come from deep to beat Framesby on Saturday. And we know that they know how to win, and they're definitely the favourites going into this one.
Now, I bumped into a chap on Saturday night in the bar over there. What I was doing in the bar, I can't remember. But this chap said to me, "Now remember, sir, Monument are the genuine Witbuller. Affies are Johnny-come-latelys." And he says that Monument have been known as the Witbuller since 1979 and Affies only since 1985.
Okay, I did not know that. I thought there was only one Billa. That just shows how little we know about the battle for the Bulls in Pretoria. But this is going to be a fascinating match. It's going to be an awesome match. Westville, of course, losing to Rondebosch quite badly, I guess, on Thursday on day one. And then we've also seen that performance against Pearson, where they simply had to win. And yeah, some changes made. I see that they've returned their main scrum half, Ryan Pistol, so he takes over from Liam Simpkins, and Blake Alborn, who created one of the tries when he came in off the bench against Pearson. And Joshua Ferreira, the man who he used to be a tight head prop, actually used to cover both props, and guess where he is now? Now he's a hooker. So he's also the DJ of the team, by the way. So when they warm up with the boombox, he's the guy with the moves there.
What, is he the Amapiano fan?
Yeah, he's a bit of Amapiano. He's a bit of Katy Perry, also plays a bit of Drake. So he kind of covers from 1 to 23.
And here we go. This is the start of the penultimate match at the 15th Standard Bank Kearsley Festival, and it is the boys from down the road, Westville, taking the field, and it'll be interesting to see how they bounce back. As you say, against Rondebosch, they weren't at their best. Monument have only played the one game at the festival because they came down from the Noordside Festival up north, and they missed the games on Thursday. So they beat Framesby 22-17, and that game was decided very late in the day. The chap who told me about the Witbuller also says that there's a lot of players in this squad that have come to the Kearsley Festival that might just be more fringe type players that they're looking to bring on for the rest of the season. So there's a chance here for the Westville boys, and they've got to be at the top of their game. And as you mentioned, no Siaya, and that's a shame because I watched him with great admiration on Thursday.
I spoke to him earlier. He was leaning there by the fence there, and I'm like, what's happening? And he said, my knee. So he actually picked up an injury against my class in one of the opening games for the school a couple of weeks ago. And he played against Rondebosch, but it's one of those where they're not going to risk him. It's still a long season ahead.
And we're away. So the ball up in the air from Unati Mlochwa. And he's got a little bit of a breeze behind him in this first half, but the temperature is up in the high 20s. It's been as high as 31 today. It's just coming down now. Here's Pistor with a nice little break around the side of the ruck, And now they need somebody to straighten the line. Monnas making good tackles in midfield, but Westville have still got a chance to play this. Out it comes from Pisteur, and the flat ball doesn't really give too much space for the outside backs to work with. So Pisteur will go back the other way. See how quickly Monnas were up there, suspiciously quickly, you might say. Pisteur sending it out, and that's been hacked through, and maybe that man was in front of the kicker, but the referee allows play to continue. It's turnover ball, and Hanno du Toit releases one of the tight forwards. Looked like Luhan Swat, and now there's a chase for the fullback. Now that shows he's got a little bit of toe, has Unati Mlochwa, because he had a long way to go to get there.
Yeah, great covering there from the man with the number 10 jersey on his back, Koopman. He's moved to 15. Mlochwa is actually starting at number 10 now, and we've now seen him play 15, 10, and 14. He played on the right wing against Rondebosch in the first game, and we'll see in the number 23 jersey just off your screen here, Ivan Moorman, he's covering the other wing. So the first line-outs of the game going the way of Monnas. I was very surprised against Frainby on the Saturday, rather, where they went late to their maul, and once they started getting that maul going, they definitely started to dominate proceedings. I was actually part of the coaching side the last time Monument played Westville here, and that maul was just, it was unreal. So I'm sure that there's already been a change. Mustafa in the number 18 jersey, I think he's come on for Mr. Brandon Egg, who's in the number 6 jersey after that big hit there, and it's a great take there by the number 7 Barnard.
You're going to have a word with the coach of Westville, who's playing silly buggers with his numbers out there, because Koopman was down as 23.
Yeah.
He's actually wearing number 10. So we've got a 10 at 15. We've got a 50. We've got a 14 at 10, and we're supposed to have. We do have a 23 on the right wing.
Yeah, we do. That's Evan Moorman there, and you can just see how Monuments are keeping the ball, they're hitting it up, and then all of a sudden they're spreading out to one. This man here, Olsen, amazing against a Fransby, quick man. He reminds me a bit of a Dylan Lates, you know, nice and lanky on the wing. He's got great pace, and he's also definitely a finisher. But it looks like here, Mr. Cap, that Westville are out for the challenger in terms of the D.
Well, they're making their tackles, but here's that little bit of space that Urson's looking for, and yeah, that's a good mark made by Koopman. There's a dispute from Hanno du Toit, who's the scrum half for Monnas, saying, how dare you claim the mark? The mark has been claimed. I see they're changing that law. World Rugby weren't impressed by the Springboks calling a scrum.
Yeah.
And so they want to change that law.
Yeah, it's actually called the anti-Damien Willemse law.
That's it, yeah.
It was actually discussed in France after that game in the corridors there by Mr. Macron, the president. And yeah, it looks like they've changed it.
When you watch any sport, you want theatre. And that moment was theatre.
It was. I remember watching the game at some place, one of the fan parks in KZN in Durban, and everyone was like, what are you doing? But I mean, who are we, Mr. Cap?
Oh, what a moment it was in the game. And don't forget, of course, Chasing the Sun 2 is on every Sunday night. Here's a big drive from the Monnas boys. Keenan Mainers was the hooker who was leading that drive. Now here's a chance for Jacques Botha. Good tackle, turnover ball for Westville, and that's brought the crowd to life.
Well, 100%. We know who the crowd is behind here. They're behind the KZN team. They're behind Westville. Barnard and at number 7, their big man for Monuments, and of course you mentioned his name, Mr. Botha, in the number 4 jersey. I mean, him and his mates at 4 and 5, height over 2 meters. The one is weighing 128 kgs, the other one is weighing 110 kgs. So there's a lot of beef there, and there seems to be some blood here for the man who is new onto the field, the Uqina Mustafa. It seems like he's got a bit of blood. He's one of the new guys in the Westville team. He's come up from the Eastern Cape. They call him the Mustafa, and he's a hard man in the number 4 jersey. Ryan Pistol, you spoke about him earlier there. Ryan Pistol in terms of when he was sniping there. So word has it when he was under 16, he used to miss every Tuesday morning gym and practice, and he used to say he woke up late. But you know, when kids, they do forget. 2 years later, he actually told us that he used to go surfing with his brother and his dad. So I just gave you a shout out there, Mr. Pisto, because we were surprised. We're like, oh, you used to miss rugby. So I actually went surfing. So I thought that was a great story to share.
Oh, I love it. I'll tell you a surfing story just now. In fact, there is time. Do you remember a lad Whitehead who used to play in the centre for the Sharks?
It wasn't a Tim
Whitehead.
Tim Whitehead, yeah.
So he came up from the Eastern Cape, and he brought his surfboard into the dressing room one Monday morning and got chased away. And it was only there for when everything else was finished. But no, you can't bring your surfboard into the dressing room.
Oh, that's fantastic. I wonder what Jimmy had to say there when he sees him bringing his...
So here's our surfer boy, Pastor. Nice service from him. Charge down. This is a chance. It's gone dead. So that'll be a dropout 22.
Yeah, almost basically, I don't know if that scrum was just too perfect. The pass was great. Unatim Lojua thought he had all the time in the world to take that kick. And yeah, great charge down there by the captain of the day, Feltman. I know French was the captain the other day. So I think you're right there in terms of all the boys getting a chance. And there's a new captain on the final day.
Here's Urson running that lateral line. He was very nearly clean through. Stepped off his right foot with great pace, but good tackle in midfield. Nice little offload from JC Oosthuizen, and Monnas going forward here. Somebody's got to straighten the line, and here's the opportunity for that. It's from the 8th man, Vince Roberts. He gets it up to the 10 with help from Tiens Deploy. And then a big tackle on JC Oosthuizen. Westville are making their tackles at the moment, but you can't tackle all afternoon. There's another gang tackle, sending Monnas back whence they came. Back on the halfway line now, and here's one of those man mountains, Jacques Boita. You could hear the earth tremble when he hit the deck there. And Westville have done it again. That's fantastic.
No, that is absolutely brilliant defense there by Westville. Seth Gwynn feeling the after effects of that hit. I mean, you look there, Mloch, I think he's got all the time there, and well charged down there by the number 6, the captain for the day for Monnas, Feltman. But it almost looked like that sequence of play, that defense from Westville, Monument just running into a cul-de-sac and just not knowing what to do and forcing an injury, a mistake there, and going to be a forward pass, and it's scrummed down from Westville. And I think it's fair to say here that Westville look up for it, especially defensively.
Yes, and I would say that Monnas took that through 6 or 7 phases and went backwards. They at one stage were within about 30 meters of the line. Now we're on the halfway line with the feed from Pasteur. Here's Mlochwa.
Stop, Chris.
That's nicely taken in by Urson. You can see his first thought is he wants to run, and that's a pretty good kick from him. Sets the line out.
Yeah, another grade of exits there by Westville. I thought they're going to maybe take a run there, but I think the tactical change moving Umloja to 10 is to make sure that he gathers a great territory for the boys. He's got a fantastic right boot. Koopman there, the original number 10, playing at fullback today. Reese Mitchell, he takes it up there. He's actually just recovered from a shoulder injury, so nice to see him back and involved. Another poor exit there, Andy.
Yeah, taken in at the back there by Hanu Furi. And Monnas just a little slow in committing to the breakdown point there. They have won the penalty, but they had momentum there if they could have got quick ball. I don't think they'll be kicking at goal here. There's a reasonable breeze into them, and I would imagine they'll try and use those 2 enormous lock forwards and kick for the corner. That's what's happening. Fly half Justin Viljoen.
Yeah, it's a great touch finder there for Monnas. Maybe Westville a bit too excited there in the breakdown, getting too confident there, putting hands in the ruck, and referee Sanele making sure there's none of that here. Another opportunity here for Monnas to get a drive. It was all defended by Westville the first time around, and It looks like they're going to throw the ball to the big man.
Not competing.
It's actually RJ Barnard who's taken that. Keenan Mayners with the feed to the line out. Now they're trying to get some momentum going here. Westville have been broken in half, so they now have to retreat behind the hindmost foot before they can rejoin. They've done that pretty well, and eventually Monnas do have to use the ball, show the ball in midfield. Lovely step on the inside, and that's an important tackle made by Blake Albion. Still chances here for Monnas, but look at that counter shove from Westville, sending Monnas back again. Now here's their tight head prop, that is Joandre Murray. And they should be able to work an overlap here. That Westville are having to work really hard in defence, but they continue to make those tackles. Now the chip over the top, and once again that's going to be a mark, and Koopman has done the needful. Referee though was playing advantage. He'll bring them back for a penalty to Monnas.
Yeah, Westville continued to be inspired on D there, maybe over eager there at Maul time. I thought they actually defended well pretty well, but the referee going back for an infringement in the wall, just looking for what signal he gives here in terms of that Maul. I think they were saying that he came from the side. Justin Fillion just going to knock it over there and set up another line out. Interesting that Monnas are still going to the line out there, even though that it hasn't given them much success at the moment, but I guess it's getting them closer and closer to the try line, who I'm sure they're going to be sure that they're looking to get that boy Barnard in the mix there, the big number 7 flanker. They also have the likes of Swart and Buerta at number 5 and 4. I mean, Andy, look at the timber. You can see them clearly stand out from here.
This for Westville, this is a bit like an appointment with the dentist. You know it's going to hurt, but you can't back away. They've done well, bringing that one down 2 meters short. Monnas now having to use that 3/4 line, and they're caught a little bit flat-footed. Might even be turnover ball. It is. How did they do that? Westville behind their own line. Oh, they've got numbers here. And that is a fantastic kick. Halfway line.
Oh man, that man take a bow. Unati Umloja with a great exit, but it all started in the front row. The man they call Stutz, Ubandile Mngwango, wearing the number 17 jersey. He's also one of the new guys in this team. He played no first team or whatever last year, was actually under 16, and he's the big man. He's not there to scrum only, but he's also there as an extra loose forward, and he'll tell you that for free.
Yeah, I got a feeling he's the one who weighs 80 kilos.
100%.
Yeah, and he's playing there at loose head prop. Well, he did a fantastic job there. Now Monnas once again are getting caught behind the gain line once the ball leaves the safety of the tight forwards. So this is an interesting contest. They do have pace on the wing, and we saw a lovely step on the inside from Jason Hubert earlier on. But Westville have maintained their defensive shape very well, and they keep making the tackles. So Monument, nowhere to go. And that's what happens in those situations. You throw a 50-50 pass, and the referee says there were 2 knocks there. The first of them, though, was from Westville. So it'll be a Monnas feed.
Yeah, I mean, you look at this passage of play, good turnover there by Stutz, and then Unati's actually got numbers there. But you know what? Looking at that line out and looking how far he got them up the field, I have no problem with that. And a double knock on there by Westville and then Monnas. And it's all been Monnas in the opening 14 minutes of this game in terms of territory and possession, but boy, the great wall of Westville not breaking that easily.
I think the Monnas coach will be a bit concerned that the ball that they're winning, they are not getting over the gain line with it, and they've got to try and run a bit straighter at inside centre time. So scrum down on the 10-metre line of Monnas. They've won a penalty. Wait and see what the referee says here. Collapsing against the loose head, maybe?
Yeah, he's called Stutz there for collapsing. I actually think it's Akona in the number 1 jersey there. He's been called up there for collapsing, and another opportunity for Justin Fillion to just get an easy touch here and set out that rolling maul. Referees have been very strict, of course, with the scrum at this year's Kersney Easter Rugby Festival, because they're also trying to get the game to flow instead of resetting every single time. So they're looking for those infringements there.
Well, line out in front of where we're commentating now. We can see the sheer size of this Monument pack. Ball being put in by Keenan Mainers. And that's another good win off the tail from Marjay Barnard. Good tackle from Joshua Ferreira, making his presence felt. Monnas just getting themselves, yeah, exactly that. Getting themselves into a position where there's no space to move. And advantage being played to Westville. Mlochwa with the kick, and it's a big one. It's over the head of the last defender, who in this case is the 8th man, Vince Roberts. And now that's hoofed into the grandstand. It's actually hit the roof and gone out. So they'll have to find another ball before we can restart.
Yeah, interesting kick there. He's kind of gave it so much air, but he's also kind of hooked it a bit. Did Orson there, who's one of the danger men here for Monnas. Second throw now for Chris Clutie, who is number 6 jersey, but he's the guy that throws in the lineouts. Westville forwards, of course, coached by Umonde Hadebe. Not a great throw there in terms of jumping at the wrong places there. They got those 2 tall boys there, Monnas. But another mistake here, Andy, by Monument.
And more advantage being played. And look at that with the tight head prop looking for an outside break. We love to see that. Referee will bring them back for the first knock-on.
Yeah, so both teams with 2 mistakes there. First, line-out time by Westville, Chris Clutie not finding his jumper, and then just a bad carry from Monnas, and advantage to Westville with a scrum here, middle of the field. I know they've kicked most of the stuff away to play in the right areas here, but I'm interested to see here, Andy, what they're going to conjure up.
Well, absolutely, because this is one of those areas on the field where you can attack either side. It's a really difficult problem for the defensive line. You don't know whether they're going to split behind the pack, where you're going to go, and I'm watching them on his backs going backwards and forwards. They're very unsure here. You want good right shoulder ball here, and you've got a real chance. Well, they didn't get the right shoulder, so it's slow ball, but here's Pistur. Mlochwa with the show, popping it into the hands of Ivan Mulman. And a first chance, really, for Westville to attack deep in Monnas territory in this game. And we're in the 18th minute now. Slow ball coming out. Pistur finding Mlochwa, and that one's gone forward. Referee again, I think, was playing some advantage for a high tackle on this occasion. Penalty to Westville and a chance to knock it down into the corner, perhaps.
Yeah, well, look, I saw Unatu Mlochwa kicking the ball over halfway the last time in terms of just at warm-up, and it does unity here for...
You're making me feel old, Sky. I remember commentating with Hugh Bladen in the 90s, and Hugh was a fly-half, so he was obsessed by the wind. And we were doing a game one day, and he said, and here he is, and it was Grick was fly-half. Here he is, and he's kicking into the teeth of a slight breeze.
Oh, the teeth.
Arti Mlochwa with the kick, and it is a good one. 3-0, and that is a body blow for Monument, who have dominated possession and now find themselves down on the scoreboard.
Yeah, well, it's definitely energy into the Westville side here after seeing their number 10, their flower for the day, getting that one over. You know, they've been under pressure a lot the entire game, entire first half, and for them to get the first point on the board of this match, I'm sure is just going to get up the ante for them.
So restart from Justin Fillion. He's gone a little bit too far with that kick, and Westville have got plenty of time. Koopman with the relieving kick, and he certainly used the breeze there. That took an extra 5 or 6 meters. And Monument bringing it back infield, looking for somewhere that they can attack from. You see how much they try and get it to the left wing, where they've got the pace of Urson, but it's breaking down in midfield at the moment, and Westville continue to make those tackles. It's very impressive. You just watch the Monument boys. They receive the ball and then they look up and realise there's nowhere to go. Urson has given it away to Mlochwa, and he'll be disappointed that's gone into touch, because I don't think there was anybody at home there.
Yeah, and he's one of the fastest men in terms of the Westville side, and he had no one there. The ball just coming off the foot or the side of his foot there, but they'll go for the first knock on there in terms of Urson, who was making the breaker. You know, Urson is quite an interesting one, because he's playing on the left wing. He's got the touch line, obviously, on his outside on the left, and he's gone twice now with the right foot in terms of the chip and chase, and twice he overcooked it straight to Koopman, and there he's completely missed the ball. So I think for him, he's still got time to learn in terms of maybe, you know, when he gets into those situations, if he stays on the left wing, to keep the ball in and making sure that he gives himself a chance. Maybe learning how to kick with his left foot a bit, you know, because it's a bit of a tough one. It's like a Junior Dala bowling off the wrong leg. It finally worked for him, but it doesn't work every single time.
Yeah, Junior. I imagine he was probably a rugby player at school.
He must have been. He must have been.
He's built that way, isn't he? Here's Pasteur. Mlochwa opening up the line, and there's a lovely pass to Michael Satadi. He got hit, and that ball has gone into touch.
Yeah, it's called a wild pass there from Michael Satario. Obviously, he's scored a try already at this festival. Scored a beautiful try against Pearson on Saturday. But the boys just changing it a bit there. Westville boys, usually they've just kicked it long and trusted their running shape or their chase lines. But they've gone for a bit of air, and I thought they actually had the outside edge there on the Monument, but it's a line out for Monument.
It's another win at the tail for Barnard, for Monnas. Now, this is what they know best. This is what they enjoy doing, and Westville have to put their bodies on the line to try and stop the momentum of that driving maul. And scrum half Hanno de Toyers urging them forward. Now it comes down the back line, and that's another of those 50-50 passes. Koopman has made the tackle, and that might have been head on head. I can see Koopman holding his mouth, and I think he might have done himself a mischief there.
Yeah, you know what? Great pressure there from the inside defenders of Westville, and Koopman had to make a decision there, and he's gambled, and he's taken one for the team here. And just to see if both the players, I mean, if look at this, is it head on head? It looks like he's a bit low. Oh, it is. It is a bit on the side of the head there, and Koopman taking off his scrum cap immediately there. So not sure what happened to him there, but it does look like he's okay, and the other guy is okay. The number 14 for
Keelan Milton.
Yeah, 100%.
Is he? Of course, we don't have a TMO. This is Festival Rugby. If that had been a URC match, I think that Koopman would have been in the bin for 10 minutes, because it's not his fault at all. But head on head, it's always the defender who has to cop it, really. And Milton is taking his time to recover, and quite clearly that was quite a firm bash.
Looks like he's limping more than actually anything on the head there. So it looks like maybe the
I think he fell in a heap.
I think he did, or maybe the knees collided there. Got a bit of a labie there, but it is advantage Monument. I actually thought Milton knocked it on. But the referee, of course, closer to the action, and he thought otherwise. I feel like this half has just been blown away. We only have under 6 minutes left, Andy.
Yeah, that's right. And just the one score, and that's a penalty in favour of Westville. Westville have spent most of the half repelling borders, and the one time that they managed to get upfield, they scored. That's what you want to see from a rugby side. They're going to be exhausted at half-time. They will really look forward to that little mini break. And no doubt they'll have to use the rolling subs that are allowed in Festival Rugby in the second half.
And they've already started using them with, obviously, House coming off in the first couple of minutes. But, I mean, looking at Jean-André Marais there, the big number 3 for Monnas, he's part of the stop of play. I'm not too sure what's happening with him, but looks like he's got a cut.
He got a nick above the eyebrow, hasn't he? That's if this was a Rocky movie, Sly will be going, cut me.
Well, Meyer coming on, Vickers Meyer coming on at tighter there, while Jean-André Marais is getting some attention, and the referee, of course, will not wait for that because it is running time. So they need to get much play as possible in terms of the ball in play. And it is a scrum time here for Monnas after a great tackle, well, one of a great collision rather, and no one hurt in terms of Koopman and Milton.
So I think that's Nathan Erasmus who's come on at tight head for Monnas. Look at that shove from Westville, keeping Monnas honest. Now the boys from Krugersdorp have thrown it away!
Afrikaner!
Oh my
Afrikaner! Afrikaner! Look at that! Oh, he ate that up like a mini. Jadran Afrikaner! The crowd on their feet. He salutes his mates there, and after a great read in terms of reading that long pass. And this is the second time this has happened to Monnas, by the way. Same thing against Framesby. They threw an intercept pass, and this time Afrikaner eats that one up like a millie and scores under the poles for Westville.
Wow. And Mlotshwa to turn it into a 7-pointer. And this is an enormous turnaround in the game. The conversion is good, and I would say that in the entire first half, Westville have only driven into opposition territory once. That try came from their own 22-metre line, and they lead 10-0.
Oh, look at that. Justin Verleuen throws another pass. I mean, it was on there. The place was on there. But, I mean, he just gambled there, Afrikaner, and he's looking back because, like, I got the jet shoes. I'm on the dance floor, and he dives straight in there. And look at Mustafa, Trina Mustafa, the first forward next to him. And, I mean, that's a big...
Ryan Pasteur. And Monnas are going to be in need of a good chat at half-time from the coaching staff because they've had so much ball, they've done nothing with it.
The good thing here for Monnas, same position against Framesby, and we know how that movie ended.
Once again, it's that man Barnard who brings it in at the tail of the line. And Westville have turned it over. Pasteur's gone straight through the gap. Is anybody going to stop him? Yes, he's got the pass away. Inside the 22. What a finish to this half from Westville. Pasteur feeding the back line. Mlotshwa sends it. Oh, Koopman breaks the tackle. Koopman scores. What a finish to the first half.
Well, just listening to the crowd, looking at everyone here, it's a bit of a shock here in terms of what is happening. Westville score once again. Turnover ball at more time. They've spread the ball wide, and they've given it to that man. His best mate is Afrikaner, and I think he just said, my boy, if you can do it, I can do it. Koopman, Jadewil Koopman, in with a great line and scores another try for Westville. Important kick here for Unati Mlotshwa. What could be
tough. There should be time to restart, but of course the ball will be kicked straight to the Westville boys. So let's see if Mlotshwa can add the 2. And it is wide. So 15-0. And that was a crowd pleaser of note. And it all came from turnover ball here.
I mean, I don't know how they got that that ball through, or that ball through, that maul. Pistol sniping through. You'll see in the picture now, his captain, Chris Clutie, fends off a couple of defenders. He plays well. He makes sure he goes down. They secure the ruck there. Seth Gwyn with the clean. Now the ball has to go wide. Alborn. It goes to Unati. Look at that. Look at that line. Koopman straight through like a knife through butter. And what a dive to finish it off.
That's a crowd pleaser. And that is the last action of the first half. So rather amazingly, if you said to me 5 minutes from half time that it was going to be 15-0 at the break, I would have said you're absolutely talking nonsense. But we've had a penalty kick in the 20th minute, a first try from Afrikaner from an intercept in the 26th, and then Koopman's try in the 29th minute. The first try was converted, second one wasn't, and so at the break it is Westville 15, Monnas 0. You can enjoy some of the highlights of the first half. Welcome back to Stotfield, where the half-time crowd has been full of bubble because 2 tries from Westville in the last 5 minutes of the first half have turned this game on its head. It's 15-0 to the boys from KZN, and the large fellows from Krugersdorp have been scratching their heads. And I was watching the coaching team from Monnas with everybody gathered around, and there were stunned looks on many faces. However, in this second half, Monnas in the white will have the wind at their backs, and that's not to say that they didn't have the ball in the first half. They dominated both territory and possession, could do nothing with it. And Westville, by contrast, scored every time they got into opposition territory. Here's Justin Fillion looking perhaps for a 50-22 here, and that is a super kick from him. It's kept in play and then hooked into touch, so it's as good as a 50-22.
Well, 100%. I mean, that's advantage. Monnas there, Justin Falun finding some real estate there behind the Westville team, and Unatim Lojwa trying to save that from a 50-22, which he did, and then hooks the ball into touch. But you were watching the Monnas coaching staff. I was looking at the Westville coaching staff, and I saw Coach Jabzulu just laying down the law and what it means to be a Griffin, what it means to be the red, blue and white. And I'll tell you what, I'm sure they will make sure that by the end of this match they're on the right side of the scoreboard. But once again, Monnas on the attack.
Yep, here's a good break from the tail of the line out. They've ruled in the line outs, but there's something missing in the link between forwards and backs. Here's another opportunity, and there's a big tackle coming in on Joandre Murray, who spent some time having some stitches, but he's back on the field at tight head for Monnas. Westville continuing to make the tackles, and they've got another turnover inside their own 22.
I mean, you just look and spar these boys. I mean, Monnas, you're just keeping it very simple, trying to create space out wide, but before you go wide, you need to take it up with the forwards around the fringes. A bit static there, making sure, but also that means that the Westville line can set and get ready for some of those double hits. And it looks like it's not a one-on-one tackle. Yeah, everyone just climbs in. If someone is cutting legs, the other guy is hitting at the sternum and below. And another mistake for Monnas. Something we've been saying a lot in this match. Could it be Westville Day? We'll find out in the next 28 minutes.
Well, it could, of course, be one of those famous matches of 2 halves, but at the moment, it's 15-0 to Westville, and a lot of people in the crowd are busy celebrating that. That's a penalty to Monnas. Now, if I was the captain, I'd be saying, we'll take the 3. Let's get on the board and start from there.
I mean, however you look at it, it is a 2 or a 3. A 3-score game at the moment for Monnas to take the lead, and so just take the 3. It's still kind of the same thing, you know. So take the 3, but it looks like they will back their boys in terms of a quick tap here. They're going for Morlia. Yeah, the move is out again. The move is out again there, and he's going straight through the middle. The referee says it is fine. Westville have to remain.
Rugby we've got building up for us here. Monnas building from the back. What a run that was by the big fella. I think that was Barnard, the number 7 flank. Raced all the way back, won the ball, and then took it back the other way. Now Monnas trying to build from deep. Westville continuing to make those ferocious tackles, knocking Monnas back. But here's an opportunity for them, and an outside break from Jason Hubert. This is trouble. There's nobody at home. Here's Urson cutting on the inside, gets it back to Hubert. He's lost it forward. It's turnover ball for Westville. And that is in touch, and there'll be a lot of forwards saying thank you very much.
Wow, what a passage of play. The 7 flanker here running back. I mean, look at this. Goodman is running, but this man is galloping. I mean, look at the size of the man here. Barnard running, and then with a get off me. Gives him a donut, he feeds him one there, but he just doesn't give up. Look at Goodman just chasing and chasing. Wow, I think both teams needed that stop in the game just to gather their breaths.
Well, that play's gone about 200 metres there, forwards and backwards. Now it's Barnard winning the line out. They've gone nowhere, and the referee says there's been a knock on. It's turnover ball. Here's Pisteur sending it out, and a chance on the left wing. A chip and chase, and it is in touch. Oh dear, Jadrian Africana Looked like he might have got his second one there.
Another turnover there for Westville. They've looked so dangerous when it comes to turnover ball. They got the jet shoes of Afrikaner and Koopman at the back there playing 15. Just keep exerting the pressure if Monument make the mistake there. And it also looks like they're just not competing there. I mean, that didn't look too straight. But referee says play on. Feltman gives it out there to the big number 12. And they're always looking for Orson, who's on that wing there. Last time they went there, we actually saw a break. And competing at the ruck there.
Relieving kick. But it will be a Westville feed to the line out, 30 metres from the line. Westville must be in the cold light of day. When this game is over, they'll look back at their festival and say, well, if we could play like that every day, we'd never lose.
Yeah, especially on the defensive side, just not letting go of anything and making sure that they're getting the ball through. Great throw there by Kluti. And Joshua Ferreira through there. Here's Michael Sitade. Sitade looking for an offload, but a great set play there by Westville. They take it wide. Look at that. Joshua Ferreira also involved in the mix.
And he makes it available. Pasteur. Now they give it to him, Lochwa. This is Koopman running backwards to go forwards. And here's Afrikaner on the right wing. And he is tackled into touch. 5 metres outside the 22.
Well, it's really the first time we've seen Westville with ball in hand in terms of not turning over ball. It's a great set play
and
there.
Not just ball in hand, but territory as well. Instead of defending in front of their own post, they're defending in the final third of the field.
And as that happens, the time is ticking and the clock is definitely ticking. Barnard once again up there. He's been very good for Monnas.
Now, Monnas, no, somebody needs to straighten the line. And there's a good tackle. Given Mulman making the hit. Nowhere to go for Keelan Milton. You might say a good step on the inside. Nice play there from Blake Alban. Now Pasteur taking them on. He's not scared. Show of the ball and then the straightening of the line. This is good stuff from Westville. Koopman up from fullback. Goes backwards to go forwards. Here's Alban again. That's a great offload from him. Oh, we've got numbers here. Can he go all the way? Great step. Oh, try number 3.
Michael Sitade. Oh, man, look at that play there. It looked like no one wanted the ball. Koopman with the good feet there. Michael Sitade makes a break. I thought he was going to go for the corner, but he backs his strength. He backs his pace. He goes straight through the Monnas attack. Well, it goes through the Monnas defense, and I don't want to read the score.
Well, I'll tell you the big difference here, Sky, is that when Westville get front foot ball, they're taking it through the tackle and offloading, whereas Monnas tend to be going laterally. The conversion is good, and there are some stunned looks in the crowd as they take in the scoreboard that says Monument 0, Westville 22.
I mean, look at that offload from Blake Alban to his number 13 partner. I thought it was going to go straight through there, but he steps back inside. Look at that. He straightens. Oh, Mustafa running that block line. And, Michael Sitade with his second try of the festival. And
there's an error from Philyun, but it wasn't a terrible error. Keenan Mayners managing to win the ball. Now, somebody has got to break through and run up a straighter line than we're seeing from Monnas. Now it's taken on by Joandre Murray, the tight head prop. Westville continuing to make the tackles. Referee has run out of patience. He has given the penalty to Monnas. Looks like it is Murray who's stayed down.
Yeah, first mistake there for Westville is after scoring a try is not gathering at the kickoff. David Humphreys there, the man who captained the under-16 side as Westville last year. He's playing 8th man now for the first team. He has to gather that kickoff, and it gives Monnas an opportunity to strike right back.
So we've got 19 minutes left in the game, and if Monnas are to get back. They've got to score better than a point a minute. Can they start here? It's taken in by that man Barnard, who has been everywhere for them. They're trying to maul it over the line here. Maynard's in control at the base. The ball is available. There's a super tackle. Suspect he might have been in front of the try line there and therefore offside, but referee says play on. There's another tackle out wide, and Monnas have run out of room on the left. They've got to come right and back 5 meters from the line, and eventually they've got to take it down the back line. There's a chance to jackal the ball. Referee's right on the spot. Monnas, I think, have still got control. Their scrum half is Hanu Dutoy. He has a go himself. Now there's a chance for Urson. He's gone for the outside break, gets the pass away. This should be a try for Milton. And it is in the corner.
Michael Sitade trying to do a defensive read there, trying to make sure that he hits man and ball at the same time. He hits man, but he doesn't hit ball. Urson getting the ball out to Milton, who goes through for an easy try on the right-hand corner with a conversion to come. But could this be a sort of a comeback for Monnas? They were patient there. Westville making the tackles around the fringes, but it was a bit too late for them because space had already opened out wide. And it is Keaton Milton with the try in the corner.
So you say it's an easy try. It was an easy finish. It was hard work getting the ball out to the wide winger there. Now this is Hanu Dutoy trying to turn it into a 7-pointer, and when you're 22-5 down, every kick is important, but this is a tough one. The wind is helping him. He's got it on the way, but it's faded to the right of the upright. So 22-5, and we've got 17 minutes remaining.
Yeah, there's still a lot of rugby to be played here. It's a 17-point game. I mean, look there, Sitade trying to make sure that he gets the ball.
Hanging it up in the wind, which is getting stiffer by the minute. You can probably hear it in our sound effects microphones. And Monnas, is there enough time left in this game? Is there enough strength left in their legs to come back? Hanu Dutoy, he was thinking about the box kick, decided to give it out. That could be penalised for a high tackle. Yeah, I saw the arm go out briefly. Advantage is being played, and here's an opportunity. Koopman makes a great tackle there, but he's got to get back up and get back into position. He's doing that. And the referee has given a penalty. Ooh, he's gone for his pocket here. Is this going to be a card?
Yeah, it's an interesting one, that because, I mean, if he's given that yellow card, I know they had advantage for a penalty high tackle, but you know, they haven't really had repeated infringements, has Westville, but maybe he's seen that as something that's stopping a good attack for a Monument. And Ryan Pistol, an important cog in this Westville team, he's got the yellow card there, and it seems like he took one for the team there.
It's a big question here, Sky. If you're the coach, do you now take somebody off and send a scrum half on, or do you tell somebody who's already on the field to act as scrum half?
Yeah, it's an interesting one there. I think I just move someone in. I just move everyone one in, so maybe moving one of the smaller guys on the field there, maybe an Afrikaner or a Koopman, and moving the number 10 Umloja back to 15. And because, I mean, you don't want to compete at rugtime here. They are playing with the fetcher, Chris Clutie. I mean, you just want feet on the ground and no one in the rucks, and making sure that they get that. I'm going to be interested to see now who's going to be playing that makeshift scrummy when Westville get a scrum or the ball in hand.
Well, Westville continue to defend as though their lives depended upon it. And Monnas, once again, are guilty of those one-off runners, thinking that the sheer physical size is going to get the breakthrough. There's a knock-on. Referee allowing a bit of advantage, knowing perhaps what Westville are capable of. The long kick downfield is taken in by Urson, and away he goes. Half a tackle on him, a great chicken wing from him. Milton gets it away. Stepping on the outside was Jason Hubert, just short of the Westville 22 now.
Step, Westville.
Quickly available from Hanu Dutoy. One of the Westville players has taken a bit of a knock in that defensive situation. Now it's all gone a little bit flat for Monnas. It's taken forward by Vince Roberts, the 8th man. And now it's gone forward. So Westville will have another chance to clear possession. Trying to see who has gone in there at scrum half. Or maybe they've just decided that the last man there will be the scrum half. Well, in fact, there's a pick and go amongst the forwards.
I'll tell you now.
And
Yeah.
Westville quite happy to wind the clock down, I fancy.
Yeah, so Goodman there, he just played that pass there to Umloja. So it looks like he's going to double up there. And Umloja, does he find touch? Oh, yes, he does, but it's a quick line out. Milton, Keaton Milton, look at the space.
He's got wheels,
pace
hasn't
on
he?
this man.
That's a good tackle, though. And it results in a knock-on by Westville. So actually advantage being played to Monnas, and here's a chance for them. Flashing through there was Taslim Gayan. And the referee says that's not enough advantage, and he will bring them back. So while they reset, let me just say that I've seen my old friend Mike Greenaway here selling his book, The Fireside Springbok. If you haven't got a copy, go and get one right now. It's the best, most fun history of Springboks that there is available. It was my book of the year on cover to cover last year, and it's self-published. So
Oh, yeah?
every bean that you spend on it goes straight to Gringo. And he's here at the festival. He's selling the book. So if you're listening to me and you're at the festival, go and buy The Fireside Springbok. You will thank me. Next time you see me, you can come up to me and say, Andy, I read that book. I loved it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I can only imagine how much insight is in that book, and in terms of how much wisdom is also in there, because Mike Greenway, well celebrated journalist in South African rugby, loved it in KZN. And yeah, I can't wait to get my hands on that book.
One of my favourite stories is the story of Fairy Heatley, who took money from his mates in the Cape and had to flee in a rowing boat.
Yes.
And ended up in Argentina.
Oh, wow.
He didn't row to Argentina, but he rowed out to another boat and came back 20 years later, paid everybody off, and was rehabilitated. And that's one of the stories that's in The Fireside Springbok. Go and get it. It's fantastic.
I was about to say that is a long row. It is a very, very long row. So thank you for the context there.
Here's Monnas trying to score their second try. Well won. Now, can they get the grind on? This is where Westville have been very good, but eventually you do run out of elasticity in the legs, but they're continuing to repel Monnas. They're very close. Referee says yes, and I'm going to give that to Mainers, the hooker. It's very difficult for us to tell from here, but I would imagine that's who's going to get up last with the ball.
Yeah, Keenan Mainers there. He's been behind the ball the entire afternoon and finally getting some reward there. And as they concede the try, Westville, they're making a couple of changes here. And when you look at this here, where's Mainers? Yeah, it looks like it is him. Off your screen, a couple of changes for the Westville side. I see the number 5 of the side is Zono Similane. He's coming onto the side. We also have Ross Calvert in the number 2 jersey, or in the number 16 jersey rather. He looks like he's going to come on. And Ati Ndengana. What a beautiful story. That man is had no chance of playing first team a couple of years ago, or last year played thirds. He came here to play at the Curzon Easter Rugby Festival because of a couple of injuries. They put him in the gym. He's looking good, and he's wearing the number 3 jersey this year. Fascinating boy, and such a fascinating rugby player.
And a fascinating contest here.
100%.
9 minutes remaining. The conversion hit the upright, and so there's still a 12-point gap. And what that means, of course, is that to win this game, Monnas have got to score 2 converted tries. Is there time? Is there enough energy left in the battery of the Witbulla?
An important kickoff here for the number 10 Gutman, who's one of the try scorers for Westville.
That's a good kick. He's got it right up in the air, and nobody wanted it. And as a result of that, that ball's turned over. It went forward from the Monnas player, and now Westville have got a chance. They're on the front foot. And we've got both hookers on the field. That's Ferreira carrying it, being helped by Ross Calvert. Now, here's Michael Satadi. He's hit hard, but the ball is still available for Westville. They might even win a penalty there with players not rolling away. Calvert takes it. Got himself just a little bit ahead of the last man who could have helped him, but it's still available for Westville, and as long as they've got possession, the clock continues to be against Monnas.
Oh, the arm is out. The arm is out, Andy. We know where they're going to go. They're going to take their time because they're still down to 14 men. Got one playing 9.
Here's Mlochwa looking for Afrikaner on the wing, and the referee says, I think that the runner was in front, so he'll bring them back for the penalty to Westville, which was, I think, for hands in the ruck.
Well, 100%, and as they say that, and not raining away, says the referee, the number 9, Pistol, he's back onto the field. I mean, this kick here is vital for Westville. They lead by 12 points with just under 8 minutes to go. Unati Mlochwa with another opportunity to extend their lead for Westville.
To the extent that 2 converted tries won't be enough.
100%.
This is not an easy kick. The wind is blowing capriciously away from the Westville line, and it's been the prevailing breeze through the week, and we've seen a number of kicks from this kind of position never really get off the ground. So this is Unati Mlochwa. This is for a 15-point lead with less than 7 minutes remaining. Oh, it's a good strike. He's got it.
Well, that kick could prove massive within the next 7 minutes or so. Westville players during that kick, some of them getting some medical attention from the team doctor, Dr. Hughes, Seth Gwyn, the lock, who's been monstrous for the side, putting in the hits there. He's back on his feet. The final 6.5 minutes. Westville leading this one 25 points to 10.
That's a good kick from Monnas, and the referee says no, knock on.
Yeah, Westville just also seem like straight after getting points on the board, they're not getting the ball back in terms of at kickoff. We saw that a couple of moments ago when they conceded a knock on, and then it was a penalty, and then it went to a maul, and then Monnas scored. Westville have to get those moments. They have to win those small moments. Now, Ryan Pistol in your picture there, he's just come back on the field for a cynical infringement. He got a sin bin. I'm sure we know what we're going to get here, Andy. Clean exit from Mlochwa.
Pistol with his hands on the ball. And he hasn't got too much distance with that kick. Monnas will have the feed. Looks like they've got Kian Pretorius on now at hooker, and they've also brought Evan Bernhardt on at scrum half. I'm not sure that Bernhardt is playing at scrum half, because Hanu Dutoy is still out there. Yes, just looking, but Bernhardt has taken his place at fly half. So less than 5 minutes left in the game, and oh dear, we've got hopefully that's just a turned ankle. It could even be cramp, the way that he's hobbling off there. Monnas, can they turn this into points? That's a good piece of straight running from depth. They haven't done enough of that today, Monnas. And you see the way that Westville force them across the field. They don't let them come through the middle. That's a good tackle on Taslim Gayan. And Westville, well, they really do deserve the Purple Heart, the amount of tackles they've got through today against a significantly bigger opponent. Now this is Bernhardt. He has taken up the scrum half position now. and the referee gives the penalty to Monnas.
Yeah, it's an interesting one there because he said first man over the ball, so the man's got the ball, but they're not releasing. Surely a penalty to Westville. But
now they've got the extra man on the wide outside, and Westville have got there again.
Great scrambling defense there by Michael Sitade. One of the guys making the hits there, the number 7 in your picture right now, and Brandon Eck, he played under 16 rugby last year. Randy Lesmelane, the big number 5, also played under 16. So, I mean, this win, if it does happen for Westville, this is a very young team. There's a lot of grade 11s here. You're going into the final year next year of your high school career, and you've beaten Monnas, but hopefully it's not a commentator's curse. Here comes the original Witbiller.
Good low tackle coming in on Jacques Botha. Now Milton out on the outside. In fact, this is the fullback Hanu Fari who's moved forward. Are they in at the corner? They are claiming it. Yep, the referee's given it. And I think it is the fullback Fari who's scored.
Yeah, in the closing moments of the game, Westville starting to look a bit tired, maybe not having enough numbers on their feet on the defensive line. Caught out wide there with a beautiful long pass by Justin Viljoen, the number 10 for Monnas. And I mean, we go back to the kick, the penalty kick from Unati Umlocha. How important was that now? Because I mean, they can score again, Monnas, but they still have to score another one, and time is simply not on their side.
That's right. This is the end of the 58th minute, and this is a really tough kick. Let's see if he gets it anywhere near. It's gone wide, so it's a 10-point gap, and we're inside the last 2 minutes. I think Westville can start celebrating, but the players won't. The players will be there ready to make the next tackle, as they have done all afternoon.
Well, about 90 seconds there on the clock. The referee Usanele telling Westville no delay tactics here. I won't stop the clock. Koopman with the ball. I'm sure all the parents, the brothers, the past boys, the old boys of Westville are just looking at the time now, counting it down as we enter the final 60 seconds of the match.
Barnard was the man who took the ball and then stampeded forward. He looks a wonderful player, and I shall keep my eye on him. He's one of the big fellas coming forward now. Vickers Meyer wearing the number 17. And Monnas flinging it wide, hoping against hope that they can take it up the other end. It's in the hands now of Jason Hubert. Good tackle on him. He gets it away to Milton. Milton is hunted down on the halfway line. Out it comes. Show of the ball, and it's driven on by the big Jacques Botha. Botha is stretching his legs out. Can he go all the way? He's tackled from behind. He's got the pass away. Westville are harrying back, desperately trying to get between Monnas and the line. Here goes that man Botha again. He's on the 5. Quickly available for Evan Bernhardt. He sends it the other way. They're opening up. This is what Monnas are capable of. They came back in their other game against Framesby, and that has gone to ground, but the ball is still available. That's gone to ground, and the referee, I think, is going to blow the final whistle here.
Yeah, he's called a penalty advantage there. Not sure for what. I think it's for offside. Westville, they're just keen to finish the game. He's telling the captains that they got 2 penalties here. I'm sure you can hear him. On the clock, the time is up, so I don't want to say it now, but I'll wait for the final whistle here. Unless something drastically happens where there's a try and then there's a penalty during the try and has to restart with a penalty. I've seen that happen, by the way.
Oh, yes.
I've seen that happen. Monnas looking to have the final say, looking for a consolation here.
Very close to getting across the line. They are over the line now. There's the try. Conversion to come, but it's not going to be enough. So the story of this game is that Westville went into a 22-0 lead. They then made it 25-3, and then Monnas scored 3 tries.
But Westville value for they win. The final kick of the game.
Chance to deploy. What do the touch judges say? The flags have gone up, but so have the arms of the Westville players, because that is a rare, rare victory against the boys from Krugersdorp. Year in and year out, the best of the Gauteng schools. They've come down here and played 2 games, whereas Westville have played 3 games in 5 days. Westville have done it.
Nah, they've certainly done it, and I'm so happy for these boys. I mean, it's a very young team, and you know, we were only expecting very, very big things for them from next year onwards, because they were matured and played some rugby in the opens. They were very good at under 16, and some of those under 16 players are in here. But I mean, off your screens now, I mean, look at that. The director of rugby, Mr. Dustin Noble, Mr. Jab Zulu there walking with Pam Haywood, who is the director of sports at Westville Boys. Probably not happy with the second half performance in terms of conceding those tries. But oh man, they started so well, they defended so well, they were heroic. Monde Hatebe in there. The forwards coach take a bow. They didn't score. They scored 1, I think, off a maul, and that's something that they really do well, does Monnas. And it is a massive, massive win here for the mighty Griffin. It has finished today at Stotfield, day 3 of the Kersney Easter Rugby Festival. The penultimate game of the day. Monument 22, the mighty Westville Boys High School 25.
Yeah.